So, hi, welcome to Binge Buddies, Homicides, Hooters, and Hockey Masks. With me, your host, always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, Dennis Rader Dykes. Whoever Dennis Rader is that Matt immediately said he knew.
BTK.
Oh.
Bind, Torture, Kill, it stood for.
Didn't need the extra info, but thanks.
I think he's the one who got caught when he basically wrote like a letter to the police or something and said, you can't trace where, you know, if I sent you a floppy disk, you wouldn't be able to track me down using that. And they went, no. Yeah. Someone got caught because of that. And they were caught because of that.
That's
Is either BTK or Green River. I can't remember which one though.
Well, they sound like an idiot, and they also sound like a real big jerk for murdering people.
Yeah.
This guy I know is a gross person, but I've never looked into why he's gross. But here we go. We got Joel Albert Fish DeWitte.
Albert Fish. Let's see here. American serial killer. He's got like one of those hats that are like a circular kind of thing with a brim.
Perfect. Yep.
What is a bowler? Is that a bowler hat?
Yeah.
Hey, I know words. Gosh, that's too long of a Wikipedia. I'm just gonna trust you that he's despicable.
I don't know how. There's a podcast I listen to a lot called Time Suck, and he did an entire episode on him. I never listened to that episode because they're all like 3 hours long. But he refers to him all the time as this gross thing. So maybe I should listen to it.
I mean, I got a lot of my serial killer knowledge came from the last podcast on the left.
Yeah, that would do it.
That was the first podcast I listened to.
See, I'm running out of. I thought I had someone for our other co-host. Oh my god! Hold on, we got Ryan Carl Panzram Lootens.
Hold on.
Hands.
Carl Hands.
I know the surname. I don't know. They are getting obscure.
I know.
Yeah, you know.
The first thing that says when you look him up on this site is when you think of history's most famous killers, Carl Panzram might not be on your list.
That's fine. I'm forgettable. Dude, you're missing the mark. There's like so many more. Like you have not done Son of Sam. You have not done Lakeshore Strangler.
Son of Sam is a good boy. I'm not going to put a dog on the list.
No, David Berkowitz.
No, I like the puppies. No, Son of Sam can't be on the list.
Okay.
I mean, just Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I don't think Timothy McVeigh is serial. He's just a terrorist.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like,
it's just a terrorist.
Just a terrorist.
Just like
in our environment of evil, you have terrorists
spree.
who do mass killings, and then serial killers who methodically plan out there.
Well, I think it's the thing, like the difference between serial killers and spree killers. Like spree killers kill about as many as serial killers. They just do it all at once.
Yeah.
And you know,
Friday the 13th, Part 6. Let's talk Friday the 13th, Part 6.
That's
I kind of want to get into
for
this
a whole
discussion now.
podcast.
Like, yeah,
So many times I have
serial
to
killer.
cut Matt off when he's going down his serial killer rabbit hole. We've done so many horror franchises, so many, and Matt's never like tipped his cap that like, oh no, I'm obsessed with murderers.
I just feel really comfortable around you guys now to just be who I am. You know,
Let's
go
too
murder,
comfortable.
guys.
Too
Come on.
comfortable.
Can we go back to the time before?
This feels like when we first got our dog. I didn't know what to expect, and then he started farting all the time. Just a little detail I wasn't expected to be exposed to. Matt, your knowledge of serial killers is the metaphorical fart in the room.
Matt's serial killer knowledge is dog farts.
Yep,
that's pretty good. To be fair, there's a lot of serial killer knowledge here that makes these names a lot more fun with Matt, but I'm still going to make fun of him for it. So thank you for both.
You're welcome.
All right, let's do this. Friday the 13th, Part 6 came out in 1986, the year I was born. Little baby Bryan. I was 5 months old when this thing came out, or not quite 5 months old. I didn't see it in theaters. I bet you're all very, very surprised. Part 6 is
actually based on what you've told me about your parents.
Yeah, I know they really let me see pretty much anything, but not at infancy. I think I had to start walking before I could watch whatever I wanted. Part 6 is usually rather high up on a lot of Friday the 13th fans lists. Some people aren't the biggest fan of it because this is when you're really, really starting to see the MPAA start taking our toys away, if you will. They don't take nearly as many away this week as they will next week. They're like, no more toys for you. You're too mean. Which kind of bites. But this week still has some fun stuff, some gooiness, some gloopiness, some beheadings that happen off screen. That also happens here.
A room full of blood.
There is a room full of blood.
A back breaking.
I find it strange that was a line because you got so much head crushing still in this series. And I find that a lot more painful and disturbing than a throat slash when it comes to this stuff.
Oh, especially like when you're like looking dead at him, like just watching the dude crush your head has to be an unpleasant death.
Like,
I can't imagine it's that great a death.
Yeah.
Like, literally feeling a hand crush your skull.
Yeah, especially like, well, it's not this week. Next week's Kane Hodder, but Kane Hodder has some big fucking hands.
Yeah. What I like too is when they crush the head, like they don't leave anything out. Like there's snot coming out of the guy's nose.
Oh yeah.
It's
pretty gross.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like aftermath, though, isn't it? Is it maybe to do with the fact that like we see a room full of covered in blood, we see the aftermath of a head being crushed. Is that maybe what the MPA had a problem with? Like the beheading was the action of?
I don't know. There's always the common thing that most Friday the 13th fans and most Friday the 13th filmmakers say, which is MPA was trying to make an example out of Friday the 13th because it was such an easy one to take the shots at. Like this thing is so fucking violent. We all know it's so fucking violent. This is the easy one to be like, look, you can't do this shit. So I'm not sure what the MPA had a problem with, but this one felt like the filmmakers or producers, whoever had final say in the cut, was much better about trading. Like, okay, so you're going to take away our violence here. All right, so we can go more crazy over here. And I feel like 7 tried to do that. We'll talk about that more next week, but 7, I think they prioritized the wrong things.
Either that or MPA figured out what they'd done on this one and was like, nah, fuck you. And
no more trading. No violence for you. But this one has
what's really annoying is the fact that the original camera negative is gone, destroyed or something.
Lost is what they say. Yeah.
They're still saying lost, so there's the chance that it might be found at some point, but
I doubt it at this point. I think with the amount of remasters we've gotten, if these still existed and were available, we would have gotten them remastered by now. Like we got 9, so that says something.
Because people when it comes to movies that actually have a decent film that's unrated, where you see more instead of just like a little snippet here and a little bit snippet there to make it unrated, people tend to buy it more.
Yeah. So like, there's no way that Paramount is like, we don't like money. Nah, no money for us. So yeah, I think if these existed, we would have had them by now. Personally,
I mean, they did it with 2 for the right reasons. We got the death of the bed couple. We didn't get the other, things that are not appropriate. So
right, which is. Thank you. And still, fuck that person.
Yeah.
Any hoozle. So this week we haven't really been talking a lot about who's been playing the Jasons, which I feel kind of bad about because we've had some really, really good actors playing Jason. Part 6 actually has 2 people who play Jason in this movie. Ryan has met one of them, it appears. Was that CJ?
Yep.
Yeah. CJ Graham. It usually is my second favorite Jason. He is absolutely just stellar in the role. His physicality is great, his murders are great, so I'm really excited that we have CJ Graham in 6. And then Dan Bradley did the paintball sequence, so whenever you're watching Jason's during all the paintball stuff, that's not CJ, that's a different guy. I think they all feel pretty same though. Like they I think for me they feel about the same. And it's just a very, very solid Jason in this movie. So but we have to get there in a certain fashion, and what better way to bring a guy back to life than to hit him with a bolt of lightning? As if Tommy Jarvis
Frankenstein!
Tommy Jarvis has a nightmare about digging up Jason, having him get hit with a bolt of lightning, and coming back to life to murder everyone. So what does Tommy Jarvis do? He digs up Jason, sticks a fucking lightning rod in his chest, and he comes back to life and starts murdering everyone. Way to go, Tommy! Way to go. Literally everyone who dies post movie 5, it's Tommy Jarvis's fault. I know you should probably also blame Jason because he did the murdering, but
at this point, he's a revenant. He doesn't. I mean, he's just doing what he knows, and he's been a killer. So it's not. That's just the way you know.
He's a shark. He's just
Right.
cruising through the area. He's like, oh, there's a living thing. Should stop that. And another living thing. Ooh, is someone
Dead.
banging over there? Like,
Dead.
this one has, I don't want to get way too ahead of myself, but this one has, for me, one of the best. I think it's in this one. It's not 7, right? No, it might be 7. Now I'm thinking about it. No, that's next week's problem. This one does have a lot of fucking just great Jason stuff, though. And all the way just right from the beginning. Like, I really like the way this thing starts with Tommy going nuts with his friend. It's like, you're gonna get your friend killed. Like, there's no chance. Your friend's annoying as fuck. So
yeah, the friend deserves to die because he's that annoying.
I love Horace as the harbinger. Like, dude is just perfect. Like, when they're sitting there looking at the grave and he goes, okay, that's it, let's go. And he goes, give me a shovel.
Yep, that's a great.
He's like, no, but he realized he has to help Tommy work through this, and he goes, "I'll get it."
Yep.
So, Horace went out swinging, and he didn't swing hard enough.
No, he was real dumb. Like that's a thing you say no to. So you remember that guy that I told you about that I killed when I was like 10 years old because he was murdering everyone around my cabin, and then I hit him in the head with a machete like 1,000 times, and I was in a mental institution. I want to go dig up his grave.
I mean, I feel like that they were in the mental institution together as well. Like, I get that feeling that him and Horace were both in the mental institution together. So he
Horace seems more like anxiety
a bunch of times.
I don't. But this, I see Horace as the more stable person here.
Yeah. This is definitely
a Horace or is it Hawes? I'm looking at Wikipedia. It says Hawes. I mean, what does it matter? He's a red shirt. Yeah, he's dead guy.
Well, maybe it is Hawes. Either way.
It's definitely a true friend stabbing in the front kind of situation. Like a good friend will tell you, this is a bad idea. Don't do this. I'm not participating.
A real friend will say, don't do this. This is a bad idea. Oh, fine, I'll come and help.
What I like, though, what I really like about this sequence is how it pays homage to that piece of shit fifth movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, when he's going to the rehab camp, he has a dream about Jason's grave and Jason coming back to life.
Yep.
And it's just, to me, that's a huge, like, this movie does not get the credit it deserves because it fleshes out character. He is driven by these dreams that he has to go do it, and he does, and it's his own living nightmare. So I just think that's really, the way that they did this was extremely well done, and there's really no other way to do it. How do you bring back Jason Voorhees besides making him a zombie Frankenstein? So the fact that 5 made the decision to have that dream and then for that dream to pay off in 6 is really the only good thing about 5. Besides Ethel.
I was going to say, like, did you forget how much we loved Ethel? Ethel's great.
I forgot. Besides Ethel.
Junior sucks, but Ethel was great. But I also like the things that the movie doesn't really get credit for, I think, is like part of Jason's design. Like when he wakes up and he's got like the worm face and all that, that's good, really good makeup. Like he looks creepy and weird. Like I love the mask reveal, all of it. Even the kill of Hawes is proper gross. Like I like
just punch him
right through the hole. Yep.
Well, and what I like too is like when you see his full body, it's a wide shot, so you can't really make out any battle. That you just know that he is decrepit. Yeah. And then when it goes up close, like you see the eye, and it's so lifelike. Brilliant. Oh yeah, brilliant choices there.
But also, you get it right from the go with this thing that this movie is going for camp. Like it's not going to like it's not trying to scare you. Like there's some scary bits in it. There's some good stalking in it. Like Jason walks around with the machete, all scary. Like, but it's also like, look, guys, this is part 6 of this franchise. We're gonna have some fun. Like, let's have a good time. And they do that right in the beginning with the fucking James Bond down the barrel thing. Like,
it's so good that like literally just.
The music in this one and 7 are by far my favorite. I think that they definitely did something better with the music.
Yeah,
but it's for the better. Like you're never gonna escape the classic chi 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 ha ha and all that stuff, and it's definitely brought in a way with 6 and 7, and it starts with 6 that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure. Like it it starts like this is where like when I think of Friday 13th, it's like this flavor of Friday 13th is usually what I'm thinking about. Is like this sort of like little bit of camp, still horror, still gory, just borderline ridiculous, and like that's where I am so in, and we get it pretty early on in this thing, and then it never really lets it go, which is just great. Like so we have we have Tommy going to the cops, be like, I fucked up. I woke up Jason, my bad. But he's awake, and we're in a lot of trouble. And I just love that all the cops like, nope, nah, no. There's no Jason. He's gone. Nope. They're just not gonna help.
We renamed the town. That means he can't come back. No.
It's like Crystal Lake. Look at that Crystal Lake. But look at all the forest around. It's a green forest. Forest Green. We got it. We're there.
Forest Green. That killed Jason. We renamed the town. We did it.
Yep. Fuck you, Roots. Maybe nothing.
And then we have after we kind of get through all that, then we start just like the movie just starts killing people, which is great. We get the couple in the car that I think are supposed to be like the head camp counselors.
Yep.
If I remember correctly. Everything about those
I
kills,
called them yuppies.
Yeah, I just call them idiot couple in car, but
hey,
they're not that dumb. The girl, the second
don't talk about Tony Goldwyn that way, okay? He was the president of the United States, and he's dumb because he went out with a gun.
The tiniest gun ever as well.
It really was. Who do you think you are, Dirty Harry?
I mean, it's like you're looking at that gun. I'm thinking, is that a starter's pistol? Because like the barrel on that, like you could probably barely fit a pin through that barrel.
The fact that he goes, he's gonna kill you, and he goes, not if I get him first. Wise. I just love her line. She goes, I've seen enough scary movies that a man wearing a hockey mask. Yeah, perfect.
A weirdo
nice
in a mask isn't
self-awareness.
friendly. Like, just like, nope. See him, turn around, we're getting out of here. It's like you do kind of feel bad for her because it's like, oh, she saw this coming like a mile away. And
I love as well where he's like, oh, I'm gonna scare him out of the way. And he drives up and then he stops and she's like, yeah, that really scared the shit out of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's so good at this. I wanted more of Lizbeth.
Yeah, she was fantastic, but
when she tries to pay him to leave her alone.
Yeah.
Well, that was clearly just setting up the Visa gag. Like that was was American Express, like the don't leave home without a gag.
Express.
Yeah. It's like clearly just setting up that gag, and I'm here for it. I liked it. They don't use that tagline anymore, so I don't think that it will land the same way. But we grew up in the 90s. We've heard it enough. Like we get it.
Don't leave home without it. I mean, it's like it's one of those. It's been used in films so much as well. Like, I think I didn't even know they didn't use the tagline still. I always associate American Express with "Don't leave home without it," all that shit.
I'm pretty sure American Express right now is "fuck you, give us money."
That's most banks, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
some are nicer about it.
I just want to say this is Tony Goldwyn's first movie.
Fuck.
Is it really?
It is his first film, and I think it's his first anything because then he was in St. Elsewhere in '87. So like Tony Goldwyn, like I mean, I love him as an actor. He's really good in the things that he does. So anyway, but yeah, this is his first movie.
First thing I remember seeing him was like it was in him and like Christian Slater, and they were like cops, but not actually cops or something. They were like a weird private police thing. I can't remember what it was called.
I mean,
though.
But to me, it's Ghost, Kiss the Girls, The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's the clone. He's got all that makeup on.
Oh yeah, he's in that, isn't he?
Good one. Yeah.
Yep. He was in Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. Dude is a great supporting actor. He was in King Richard recently. So,
well, he's also an idiot who gets out of a car with a little pea shooter. So,
so if you're gonna go up against Jason, use a howitzer.
No, just how about this? I have this great bold plan. Don't go up against Jason.
Don't go out. Just go.
Oh yeah, don't go up against Jason.
You're gonna lose. Not gonna go well. As he finds out, he gets killed real quick. Then his girlfriend gets killed in that poor puddle. I was writing this note out because I was getting really annoyed at the guy for being stupid to get out of the car to go try to shoot Jason. And I'm like, this guy is, well, what's the point of being mean? He's dead anyways. After that, we get.
I just love his death is he just gets stabbed with like the giant spike thing, and then just, yeah, you're out of the way now.
Yep,
I'm gonna go for your woman.
MPA cut where like he gets eviscerated. It's like as he's thrown up, like his bowels are supposed to be on the spear. So
fucking MPAA, seriously,
they really took these down a notch. But even for what they are, I still think they're pretty good kills.
I thought it was great.
Mhm.
Yeah, like,
Just the illusion of like, because
yeah.
it makes like the way the stunt actor did that, like he was like splayed out like spread eagle, and that's to me like that's how somebody would get thrown if they were speared. Like they just be lifeless.
It could have been better, but I don't think it was that bad.
No,
I think they've just gone limp. To be fair, generally when people are dead, they just go limp. I don't think you get splayed out. Speaking not from experience.
God damn it, Matt.
These kills, the one thing they're continuing to do well is the sound.
Yeah.
You know, that the sound and the weight of the actual movement lends a lot to these kills being effective, because you still did that sort of like brutality of Jason through it all, even if they don't show all the blood, guts, and gore.
Tony Gold.
Now, do we think that's mainly down to the fact that they know that the MPA is going to want to cut shit out, and so they're just like, well, let's make sure at least the sound design is as brutal as what we want?
I don't know. I feel like these movies mostly have that down pat. I almost imagine it's more just a skill of the people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Goldwyn, he's like grunting, like that's so believable. Like it's like he got punched in the gut.
Yep. It's a good hit. But moving past the couple that gets murdered in the car, because after that this movie goes a little meta at points, and we have the gravedigger who just full blown clocks the camera.
The gravedigger.
Yeah.
Some folks have a strange idea of entertainment.
Well, he's looking right down the barrel of the camera as well, like basically like looking at you, like. And you imagine that in a cinema as well, where this guy's looking at the audience going, some folks have a real weird sense of entertainment.
Like, in the 80s, the people going out to see this thing are like, half of them are like, all right, I'm done. No, that's it. You've ruined it. And then other people are like, okay, this movie gets me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I love about this film, though. It is just like, it's taking the idea of like, okay, there's this serial killer slasher person who's going to kill a lot of teens, but we know that that's what it is. So let's start playing with that a bit more. Like, yeah, so you have the gravedigger with his like going full meta. You've got the woman Elizabeth, like, I've seen enough scary movies to know that a weirdo in a mask in the middle of the woods is not a good thing, or whatever the actual line is. And I love that they took it in that direction, because I think if we would like, if number 6 was just the same kind of rehash of, like 2, 5. 3, and 4, like just and 5, just trying to be, oh, this is like super scary and everything like that, I don't know if we would have got a 7, because I don't know if it would have.
We barely got a 7 as is. Like, barely got a 7. This movie didn't make 20 million. Like, this thing did not do well.
No. Well, and what this movie does right too is understands that it helps to have a lead person that you're following throughout the entirety of the movie, rather than just being this carousel of kills with no stakes at all. But, it doesn't do a great job all the time, this movie, no, but still having that focal point to center everything around and some sort of story arc helps.
But even that too, to Joel's point, the cannon fodder in this film is set up very well. You've got the corporate paintball game. Like they're in his woods, he's gonna kill him. You've got
the dude wearing the headband which just says "dead" on it.
Yep. You've got the engaged couple, the newly engaged couple who stumble upon Jason murdering. Like it's perfect. Like, people go out there to propose and make out. Like it all makes sense. You don't have to care for these people. They're just a body count to Jason. But to us, it's believable. People can go have picnic in the woods. People can go do paintball in the woods. So they weren't just throwing characters at us just to be murdered a little bit that we're supposed to care for, like in 5 with all the kids who have these traumas and are at this facility that just we see them for 5 seconds and they die. Whereas these people are just like, oh, random corporate people, oh, random couple. Completely believable, as opposed to here, get to know these characters dead. It's no, here are these characters, they're about to die.
And he does a good job, actually, of in the short space you get, of setting up like a part of their personality. Like the paintball is like,
I love the paintball sequence. It's very corny and the music is ridiculous.
Yep.
It's very Police Academy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's super Police Academy.
But again, it helps set up the tone of what you're expecting for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. That was
Yeah.
my tipping point of like, okay, this is just gonna be fun. I'm gonna sit back, watch all this craziness happen, and I'm gonna laugh a lot.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't know, like the movie, you're sitting down to the point where you get one of the paintballers gets his face smashed into a tree and it leaves a bloody smiley face. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what else they can do to point out. Like, this is the kind of film.
It's so dumb.
I love it. It's clear, like it's so good.
It would almost be better if they had shown the blood splatter and then showed Jason like drawing a smiley face with the blood.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some good shit. I also I like the entire paintball sequence because it feels like, even knowing that a different Jason's playing in there, it almost feels like a reshoot to point of like, all right, we finished our movie. How long is it? It's an hour 10. Fuck, we can't release an hour 10. We need 10 more minutes of kills. Can you just go figure something out? Paintball.
CJ Graham's not available. Right. Call Dan Bradley.
Yeah. We'll make it work. But it's legitimately fun.
I actually love that. I hope that's actually what happened.
Yeah.
I hope like they're in an office somewhere. It's like CJ's not available. Call Dan Bradley. Like a Rolodex of names or something.
Or just he's in the room. Dan, you're up. He's just like, yay.
What's also enjoyable too about the paintball sequence is the fact that they made the woman and the nerd last, because they're always cannon fodder in Friday the 13th, that they made the woman and the nerd last the longest. Now they're all dead. Like they all don't make it, but they're you don't see the nerd get unless is the nerd the one that you find you find like all the arms and legs, so you see the aftermath of that.
Yeah, the nerd got really killed, but he was the one who was running away going, he's gonna kill me.
He's running in a zigzag pattern. I don't think that's gonna help. He's not shooting.
I mean, he's running away, but he tried to shoot Jason with a paintball gun. I mean, like, we've already talked about Tony Golden with his tiny gun. At least that one shot bullets.
Now, Matt, if you were doing airsoft and Jason came up towards you, you don't think you might just be panicked shooting a little bit before?
I'm fucking running away. I'm not standing and shooting a paintball, shooting my airsoft gun at him. I'm running.
That's the right response.
Yeah.
Not running, yelling, he's gonna kill me. Like, don't tell him where you are, dude.
I'm dying.
Yep, there's my favorite line. He's killing me. No shit. Continue dying.
Oh God, he's killing me.
So I'm trying to remember the context around this line, because I always remember the line, but I don't remember why he's asked to dig him up. But I've always going to remember this like fondly from this movie, where I think it was a cop was told to dig up Jason's body to like prove something or like dig something up, and he goes, dig him up. Does he think I'm a fart head? And then it smash cuts.
That's the grave digger.
It's a grave digger. That's right. And then it cuts to all the kids going, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So the cops. We have to talk about the cops, because I think Sheriff Garris is the best. Tommy comes in after Hawes dies, and he's like, help me. He's like, no, we're not playing this game. We're not playing this game.
Yeah.
And the deputy, I forget the deputy's Rick. That he's the epitome of macho. Yes sir, no sir. Here, I got my gun. But I love how when they're escorting Tommy out, hit the noise in the cherry. I knew it. Like all that was just so good. These guys were these roles, and I really enjoyed watching these two cops. And that's when they get to they chase him through the cemetery to see Jason's body.
That's right.
The grave desert says, what do you think I am, a fart head?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but was fart head like a common insult back then, or was this like dead fuck, where they were just trying to come up with something?
It worked better than dead fuck.
Everything works better than dead fuck. I don't need to go back on that tirade.
I have a lot of favorite lines from this movie, and my one I hope no one takes, but I have others, but
I don't know. I've got one really good one.
I've got a good one. How
is it not? Does he think I'm a fart head? Like, what's wrong with you guys?
That's easily number 2.
That's like, AFI's top 100 best quotes in movies quality there.
Yeah. So, but I just think the police force, just with the sheriff and the deputy, worked really well. And the fact that he's got stake in the game, that his daughter is a camp counselor, and then, she likes him. So I just think that character writing really made it believable. Those two and how they brought it out. So, but you mentioned the kids, Brian. I enjoy this movie a lot more because there's kids at stake.
Oh yeah, and the kids are fucking.
You never
funny.
had kids at camp. Until now.
Yeah, and the kids are charismatic, but you also get to see the counselors being counselors, which we've never seen before. And I like that they kind of suck at their jobs.
Yeah,
like you kind of expect them to. Like the guy who's like trying to like teach them stuff. Like you're not good at this, dude.
The squad comes and she just knocks it. You don't want to see him, so you just knock the rocks over.
Yeah, I was like, now you know where to go. Like,
it's so good.
Oh my god. But then they were about to kill the gravedigger, right? He's about to die because we see the camp for a little while. Then you come back, you cut back, and then that's when Martin's like drunk, stumbling down the road, and chucks his bottle, and Jason's like, "Got it."
I love the makeup here because when Jason rams it into his throat, like the blood coming out of the bottle. Thank you for letting us have that MPAA.
That's one of the ones I was talking about that it felt like a trade. Like, all right, so we won't show you actually get the heads cut off of this triple head to slice, which is a bummer, but we will show the blood coming out of the bottle later. Like we'll pick the better effect.
I do like how like stabbing's very clearly the obvious MO of Jason, but I appreciate when they choose different items for him to stab people with, and that was sort of a nice surprise.
I'd push back a little bit. I wouldn't say stabbing. I'd say more thwacking is his thing. Michael feels more like a stabber. Yeah. Jason's more about whatever I have, I'm just going to whip it at you. Like,
and I mean, it's getting to the point in this film.
He's batting 1,000.
Yes.
I think it's getting to a point in this film, though, where I think Jason's MO is face crushing with his bare hands because he does that a lot in this as well.
Well, that one's easy to get by the MPAA, apparently.
Right. Brian, to what you said too about the tit for tat thing, and when the engaged couple stumble upon Martin being dismembered after he's been
he just whacks away at that poor guy.
And poor guy, he's cutting him up, but they're trying to get away on the motorcycle, which a cow or whatever type of a dirt bike they're trying to get on.
Clearly a dirt bike, yeah.
Clearly, I think that scene was one of those ones added in with the paintball. But he goes to stab them and pin them together, and all you just see is blood coming out of their mouth. So I think that's where that trade-off was too. For that one.
Yeah. My note for that one was "Good night, weird night picnic couple." One thing I have to throw out there because it did bother me throughout the entire movie. I have 4 notes on here, so I feel like I should bring it up. There's a lot of highlights in this movie. Again, I know the cinematography is not what Friday the 13th is known for, but the amount of highlights really kind of drive me nuts. Like, there's so many people who just have to sit in their light. Mm-hmm. It might not bother anybody else, but since I noted it 4 times as I'm scrolling through my notes, I'm like, all right, I should bring this up. This is a hit.
There's a lot of sitting.
What it is like someone's just about to say something and they need the dramatic lighting to have the real impact of what they're going to say.
There's a lot of there's a lot of sitting, and a lot of it happens at the police station. A lot of sitting at the police station.
Yeah.
When Rick's sitting in there and they're making out, when she's sitting drawing, when she's sitting waiting for someone to show up, there's just a lot of eye lighting going on in there. Very low lighting.
Or when Megan's sitting on the chair just trying to like leaning back trying to balance and
very low lighting in that police station.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot about that line. That's probably one of your lines. Jesus, that just completely derailed me. Why does somebody want to watch somebody poop in this movie? Like, what is going on with that? Anyhow, all right. So where are we at? We killed the night picnic couple. Now we're just like, God, even Wikipedia is failing me. Like, I'm forgetting the order of all the kills because basically the rest of the movie is just kill.
Uh-huh.
Now it's just
you got the bit in the cat,
right?
The RV.
Oh, the RV. Shit.
Yeah.
How can you forget Court's night out with Nikki?
Well, that I believe is where I get my "Can I watch you take a dump" line. It's "Are you taking a dump? Can I come take a peek?" While Nikki's getting murdered, or vice versa. What the fuck do you mean by "or vice versa"? Can I go take a dump and you watch me while I'm driving this RV? Like, what?
Carpophilia.
I'm glad that Joel could remember that word because it's always a good one when that reference just comes flying in from nowhere. I always appreciate that.
The more we've watched how we do or what we do in the shadows over here, Baron's Night Out has just continued to rise as one of the best episodes of that show.
That might be the best episode.
Yeah.
Of the show. It is so good. Just
it rivals it.
The ballooning vampire through the sky with just puking blood is just it's some good shit.
The coprophilia line though is great because it's just like, do you know what I've always wanted to try? Coprophilia. No, coprophilia.
Oh, that was a good show. All right, back to Friday the 13th Part 6. All right, so yeah, Court and Nikki, they're gonna get fucking killed in the van. Nikki gets her face fucking just blasted into the side.
I love that.
I love that. Like, it makes me think of Terminator 2, like the T-1000. It's just like
the metallic like crumpling of like aluminum.
But then just like you can tell Jason's a little frustrated by having like how he had to kill her with like the van moving around a lot. Because when he goes to kill Court, he is done. Just head stab. Just like, oh God, this is tiring.
Yeah,
but then, I really wanted a scene though where they found the flipped over RV, and like one of the police officers just looking at it, they just see the face like just sticking out of the side. I would have loved that. And like, what the fuck happened here?
So I want to bring this up. So that was actually a question. So I actually met CJ Graham at Midwest Monster Fest. I got his autograph. I got my photo taken with him. But they actually had a reunion of Part 6. So they had Tom Matthews there as well. With CJ, they also had the guy that played Court, and they had, I believe, the girl that played Nikki. I can't remember, but I asked the question, what was it like filming that death? Because it was very confined, and it you really can't do a whole lot of planning when it comes to flailing. So I really asked them, like, what would that was like to film that sequence? And he said, you just have to, CJ alluded to that, you have to sit there and talk to your partner and just say, you do the flailing. I'm just going to hold you, and whatever way your body rocks is the way I'm going to turn. So,
interesting.
You look at scenes like that. He let her do most of it. So, like, and if you rewatch it, like when she's flailing to the right, he leans right. So it's just very interesting to let your partner kind of take control of that sequence. So,
but still look like you're in control. Like, still look like you are definitely the force of nature here, and she's leading the whole way. Like that's a good stuntman right there. Like,
it's a skill. It's definitely a skill. Is that to make it look like you're totally in control when actually you're just following the lead of the other actress.
I mean, and CJ's great at it, and it's something that Kane Hodder is known for. Like people like working with Kane Hodder because you look like you get eviscerated, and you are totally fine. He doesn't hurt anybody. Like he's a big old teddy bear. He just got killed on the inside of his lip. Don't worry about that.
Unless you try and steal his Jason mask.
Oh yeah, then you're fucked. Don't do that either. We'll get to that in part 8.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so excited for Kane Hodder things coming up next. But all right, so we got the people dead in the RV. We have this fucking amazing shot that later stolen by the fugitive when Jason climbs out on top of the RV, and then you see Harrison Ford do that like years later on a train, but Jason did it first.
No, he did it on a bus. The train hit the bus.
Yes.
As he jumped off of it.
Yes. Either way, Jason did it first. He did it better. Pretty good shot.
Fugitive's a good film, though.
Fugitive is a good film. This one's better?
Yes.
I'm not making a qualitative statement. I haven't seen it.
Oh no, Fugitive's a good movie. Like it's very, very dated at this point. Like it'll feel like a movie from the 90s, but otherwise it's very good.
Don't judge, Matt.
Sissy and Paula.
I saw the look in your eyes.
I wasn't judging. I was just thinking, that makes sense. It's Joel. He's not done this on the podcast.
Yeah, there's no franchise of Fugitive, so we're never going to watch it for this show.
There is.
There is a sequel.
There's 2 films.
Oh, God, why?
Because they want to do one with Wesley Snipes, U.S. Marshals, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, no, that was good. Okay, maybe. Maybe one of our
many. It's not a good movie. U.S. Marshals
is not terrible, though. It's
still not good.
Well, maybe that'll be one of our in-between shows just to force Joel to watch The Fugitive.
Hey, the 4K Blu-ray comes out soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Let's give Tommy Lee Jones an actor because he nails the role, and then let's make another movie with him as the star. Whoops.
So at this point, getting back to our movie, we got Tommy who's he's calling up Megan for help.
And
We've
she's
not
thirsty.
Yeah,
She's thirsty. She could care less.
Thirsty as hell. Like you're supposed to be the final girl here. Like I know that's not quite the same job when you have Tommy, but Jesus, dude. Chill. This guy's clearly going through some shit.
I like Megan
go
in
through
this,
some
though.
shit.
She's very.
Yeah.
I really like Megan in this though because she's very assertive.
Yeah,
I
Like
it.
for like the type of like that's the type of woman I like. I
Yeah,
like a woman who can beat me up and tell me what to do.
I like Megan as a final girl because she knows the stakes and is willing to help out. She's not one that's going to run around and do things on her own. She is going to team up with someone. You know, she does her own thing, which is great. And when she does, she's very assertive in that way. She's almost, Tommy doesn't really know girls. And the fact that he's got an assertive woman, it just makes the relationship work that much more.
Yeah.
And it's fun
to help him out and believe him. And that's what makes her a great final girl.
I'm still not sure if she believes him or just really wants to bang him, and like whatever crazy he's spouting is like, whatever.
Listen, man, I'm trying to give her some credit.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Hey man, she uses the laser gun. This movie and its laser gun is ridiculous. They
Wherever the
love
red
their
dot
laser
goes,
gun.
you bang. That's what I had when I met Tom Matthews. I made him write that. Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
I mean, why not? That's just great. It's a terrible line, but it's great.
But it's great. And that's why I had him do it.
It's a terrible line that they have to say twice.
Twice.
Tom does it better though. You bang.
I feel like they could have put in a joke about that where somebody aimed at someone else's groin.
I kind of wanted, when he had it on the nose, I wanted Jason to rip somebody's nose off.
What I really wanted to have happen was have somebody fire it and have it miss. And you're like, what was the point?
Like, wait, did you just get the laser and stick it on straight? You know you have to dial those things in, you dumbass.
It's aimed at Jason and it hits the tree next to him. Well, great money spent there.
Yeah, well, that laser sucked. Dead. Like, it would have been pretty great. Honestly, like my first time watching that's where I thought it was going. Like, eventually, you're going to find out the laser point sucked, but obviously that doesn't happen in this movie. Here's a question: why does Tommy have to keep his head in Megan's crotch as they're driving around?
Because they don't want. She can drive around without suspicion, but when she's driving like an idiot, then I'm just
saying. Listen, I get it, but there's a lot of real estate in a car if you need to keep your head down. It does not need to be in the driver's crotch.
Well, what I like,
I think the
do you
the
want
thing
to
that you're
live
missing here, Brian,
in the
is
slums or the suburbs? Like,
what I love too is like she's already been seen with Tommy. He goes, "You just keep your eye out for patrol or for roadblocks." He goes, "Like that one." Like they already see that there's two people in the car, so like at that point she's like, "Here, look at my crotch," which we get to see twice.
Yeah, so did the camera. The camera really want to look. Now that might
Tommy
not have been her crotch. If I was that actor, I'd be like, "Go film someone else's crotch." My God.
But like what Tommy says, whatever you say.
My favorite bit about that whole thing, though, is when the deputies calling in the registration number of the car, and he's like, "That's my daughter's car," and it just cuts the deputy and just like little smirk, like,
how do you want us to proceed? With extreme caution, asshole. Again, why I love Sheriff Garris, real asshole. But when when he realizes like he's in Jason Voorhees territory, it's great. So.
Oh, that's some good stuff.
We got to talk about Sissy and Paula though, and I can't say pansy. The whiny little girl. She's not a pansy.
Oh, there's a scary man. What's scary? That one.
Well, Sissy gets her arm or her head ripped off, and
just wrap that sucker right off.
Paula gets destroyed. We don't even see the aftermath.
Yeah,
yeah.
But she's the one who's ragdoll through the screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then you see, isn't that the blood room that you see later?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you see that aftermath, but you don't see her body.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
I'm gonna say I think we did see the body.
I'm pretty sure he put her in a blender and just had a party. Just whee! Because Like even my notes, because I'd forgotten that was that one. I'm like, damn it, another off-screen kill. What annoyance. Oh wow, when the cops find it later.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I like too, because it allows for the character development of Sheriff Garris, because he thinks Tommy is doing this to prove a point. And when he actually questions about the murders of Court and Nikki, he's like, oh, he was with me. So the fact that this movie does what, you've got the police station in town and you've got the camp and all this stuff is happening at the same time. It's really well done in terms of allowing these actors to flesh out the characters.
Yeah. And like,
okay, bye.
You broke up for like 1 second in there, but I'm pretty sure
sorry.
I'm pretty sure we got the majority of it. But no, I agree with you. Like, I like that. Like the actors really had some runway to do stuff if they wanted to. Not everyone did, pretty clearly. Like, I'm here to die,
right?
Like that's
I point this at Jason, which clearly isn't going to do anything.
Yeah, I'm on set for 1 day, guys. Like, how much do I have to do? Like, some of them kind of had that attitude, but other ones they really ran with it. It was fun. I think the people who had the most fun on set though were the kids. Like, especially like the two kids under the bed who were just like, oh, we're dead.
All right, I'm just gonna say it now. That was my favorite line when he goes, "So, what were you gonna be when you grew up?"
Same here. That was my line.
Yeah, that was one of my lines as well.
that just shows like how they made it campy. I just love it.
Like, honestly, if I were to like put like a huge trailer together of like all of the Friday the 13th movies, that would be my last like post like little like credits thing tag. Like, so what were you going to be when you grew up? Like, it's just a very good, just like end punch. Such a good moment.
It's smart. It's a very smart line.
Yep.
Yeah. But also just like the kids are just hiding under the bed while all you hear in the outside is, ah! Just like, just stay put, man.
Like, when they're discovering all the cop bodies, and she's it's when she finds Sissy's head and she's freaking out, and the kid goes, "We're really real dead meat." But man,
and then we also get the
fun.
And I'm sorry, Ryan, your favorite character is about to meet his very grisly end.
Oh, it's bad, but he went out swinging, I guess, really swinging that rock. But man, these cops
again, that looks cut by the MPA big time, though.
Oh, there's a picture. There's a picture of, if you go on IMDb, like one of the first pictures is the doll, I guess, that they constructed for Sheriff Garris, backward bend, and like the tongue sticking out. Like, it looked gruesome. Like, I can see why the MPA cut it.
But you still get more of it than I would have expected for how much they went after this. Like, you see him get folded in half the wrong way.
Yeah,
like, he had a bad night.
Yeah,
but that's like, again, just talking about the physicality of CJ. Like, CJ, his just bend in half. Like, it's just it's such a good moment of like, oh yeah, he's really killing the fuck out of that guy.
It's believable as well, isn't it? Because like you don't like through all the kills in this film. There's not one point where you go, how would he have managed to do that? Because of the physicality of CJ, you buy that it's possible. Like, the problem with part 5 is all these extreme deaths, and then it turns out it's just Roy the ambulance guy, and it's like, how did he manage to do all that? Yeah, exactly. It's like, hang on a minute, how did he manage to actually do all that crazy stuff? Because he's not an imposing, strong, big guy.
No.
But with this, it's like you properly like, oh yeah, I believe that Zombie Jason could punch a guy through the chest, fold a human being in half like a long chair.
Yeah.
I sent the picture, guys, on the group.
Oh, is that what that buzz I just got was?
But yeah, I mean, just that. But even like Jason, like going full on dart mode and just nailing that other deputy in the head. I thought that was like that was a good setup. That was very good.
And I love that as well. Like, it's just after he's like, "Oh, what's wrong, sweetie? That's
the head crusher. That's the head crusher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that. Oh, cops do not fare well in Jason Part 6. They'll get it pretty bad. But luckily, if we haven't forgotten him yet, Tommy comes to save the day with his most excellent plan of I'm just gonna fucking tie him to a rock and throw him in the lake. Good lord, nothing else is working.
You got to return him to his original place of death.
And for all of us, getting way ahead of myself here. For all of us diehard fans of Friday the 13th, it seems like this that make you go, "What the fuck, Freddy versus Jason? He's clearly not afraid of water. He just got right in." We have more of that next week too, but like, I get it. They had to do something.
Maybe it's because
maybe he got more afraid of water as more bad things happened to him in water.
He just took a nap for like a year in this.
See, but maybe it's because he's a revenant now and he's just resurrected. He forgot that fear. Maybe suspend disbelief, but then they bring it back in Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, and wasn't it 4 when he swam out under the raft?
You're right. Yeah,
the girl.
Like, I know nothing.
Yeah,
moving on.
Freddy vs. Jason made a bad choice there, but it's okay. We'll get to that later. Matt already hates the majority of that movie, so I'll have my work.
Terrible film.
It's not. It's
like I said.
It's
like
fun.
I said, I may change my mind this time. It may have a lot to do with the fact that we'd watched them in too short a time frame, and I was just done by that point.
That's very fair. Watching all these too fast was not a good idea.
Too furious.
For more Binge Buddies content, check out Toretto's Shitty Tuna Sandwich.
Yeah, for more Binge Buddies content, we're sorry. Sorry.
I will not apologize for Hobbs and Shaw.
We know.
We know
for the
that,
good stuff.
Ryan.
Sometimes you need to pay your pound of flesh.
Yep.
Thanks for backing me up, Joel.
Yeah.
That was very begrudging backing you up.
It really was.
I
The
tried.
look on his face
I
was
tried.
like 2.5 hours. I'm never getting back.
That was a you owe me for this one. All right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he probably looks at me and you with that same expression all the time. It's like, you made me watch these films, you fuckers.
Just wait till we get to Leprechaun. Anyhow,
So Megan almost gets head
Spoiler alert.
smashed.
Megan almost gets head smashed, but doesn't.
But then Tommy, I love this when he's egging on Jason. Like those could be also favorite lines too. Come on, Jason, you pussy.
Come on, I'm over here. Like he doesn't have a good yelling voice.
He
And,
does not.
Like I don't mean that to be rude. Not everybody does, but just maybe you should have had him yell in his audition a couple times. Like just throwing it out there because if the climax of the movie is, "Hey, come on, guys!" Like it doesn't have the same effect. I don't mind the fight though. I like the fight. I don't really get how he got the rock on him, but he did. And then it's real vague about how deep the lake is there. He might be surface level. He might be 20,000 leagues under the sea. We don't really know. But at one point, it was shallow enough for a motorboat to hit the back of his head a few times. And it's like, sleep, sleep. And he gets the old Thanos.
Well, that's
snap.
the thing. Like, is he actually at the bottom of the lake at that point, or is he still kind of holding on and then? Like,
Maybe
you know,
the chain-
thing
You
hits
see
him
the
and then he
rock hit
falls
like
to
the Crystal Lake sign like right away.
I mean, that's
the
just bad
chain was long
editing.
enough. Maybe.
Yeah, he's bobbing.
Yeah.
I got nothing on it, but because of this movie, there's someone out there in the world who got a Jason dummy, tied it to a rock, and threw it in a lake, and it's absolutely incredible.
Is it Minnesota?
I think it's in Minnesota. Yeah. There's a Jason in a lake. I need to go to that lake, and I want to go take a photo with him because it's just.
Is it
incredible.
still there? Like,
Oh yeah, it's a permanent installation. Like it was like
the city won't. It's like that's there. We like it.
That is a tourism thing. Like, oh, you got to go see our Jason in the lake. Like it's pretty cool. One last thing we got to mention before we get out of this one. End credit song is a fucking banger.
Alice Cooper.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Like that Alice Cooper song, The Man Behind the Mask. Damn, it's a good song.
Well, didn't he do the song?
The only one of these films I've watched the end credits. Like I was like, oh, this song's fucking awesome. I'm sitting around for this.
Did he do the song Teenage Frankenstein?
He did, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he
Nikki
did
and
all the
Porter
needle
died?
drops in this, or all Alice Cooper songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that main song at the end. It's like it's a good song right there.
It's a
banger.
very, very good song.
Like we have two songs about Jason, and they're both pretty good.
I have to make a note here.
Yes.
This is, I think, the first time that we have different names. I think. Like, if you look at it, there's no Tina.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's a Rick.
There's no
Rick.
There's a
Oh,
Rick.
you're right. There's a Rick. But
There's no
yes,
Paul.
Sissy in court. Was there a Paula?
No, there's no Paul. We haven't had a Paul in a
Paula.
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 Yeah. But I also think that's
and
kind
we have
of
a Roy. We have a Roy because that was one of the paintballers.
Yep.
So
yeah, there we go. Got some.
Damn it. Fuck.
I think it's part of the charm at this point.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they just keep it as like a camp thing.
Yeah. Because they don't do it. I think in the remake, there's not a single one of their names. It's another reason why it doesn't feel like the right remake.
Yeah.
Beyond the nipple placement line, there's a few things wrong with that.
Oh
movie.
my god.
Hey,
that fucking line.
I am so excited. Don't ruin it anymore. I'm so excited for Joel to get to that movie, specifically for the sex scene. I don't think I've ever said
I'm excited to hear
too.
Kelly's thoughts on that line.
She's
I wanna know what
already
Kelly
tired
thinks.
of the sex.
I love Juliana Gill, and it's because of her work in Friday the 13th.
I will say we're pretty much done with the way over the top sex scenes. There's one or two more.
He's got 9.
Oh yeah, 9 has a
Yep.
9 has a violent one too.
Yep. 10 kill.
Yeah, that's a good one. Never mind, Joel. Buckle up. All right, let's do favorite quotes or kills or both. We all, I think, have the same favorite quote, right? So should we just skip quotes, or do we want to come up with a plan B?
No, we can do other quotes as well.
All right. Then I'll go first this time. My favorite quote that is not the kids under the bed will be that, "Are you taking a dump? Can I come take a peek?" Or vice versa. The fuck, dude. That's all I got is what the fuck, dude. But then my favorite kill is also going to be Court. I love that head stab. It's just fucking visceral. Like it's just you feel frustration coming from Jason. Just like this fuck. Did he just ask to watch his girlfriend poop or to have his girlfriend watch him poop? Fuck this dude. And pretty great. That's it for me.
I'll go real quick. So my runner-up line was Martin, and he was holding his whiskey bottle. He's, "Kathleen, you've led me astray."
Well, then he goes, "Darling, you're going to be the death of me."
Yeah.
What a lovely way to go. And that's how he dies.
Yeah. Kill RV to face to the RV. Like just the cartoonish imprint of the head. Just really good. Really, really good.
I'll go. So my favorite is when they're talking about Jason, when Sissy, Paula, Court are all getting ready. She goes, she's relaying the story. She goes, "I can only think of one thing more terrifying." And the bus rolls up. All the kids.
Yeah, that was good.
Bus driver gets up. "Here they are, and they're all yours." I'm like, I feel that as a teacher sometimes.
Yep.
So, and then my favorite kill, as much as I love Sheriff Garris, I thought his death was also very good. So
It's a good one, man.
what a way to go.
All right, Matt.
So mine is two of the paintballs. It's like, "Calm down, would you? Your insurance says more. Death is my business." I just love how properly serious because I've been airstuffing where there's people like that and just like chill, just chill a little bit. Like,
We're here to have fun, dude.
Yeah. And then so many of the deaths that have already been mentioned are great, but I'm going to go with the deputy just because of the great sort of line before him where he's like, "Hey, what are you doing running around here? Now you go back to bed." It's like, "No, there's a scary man." "Oh, what scary man?" And then Jason literally just jumps out and just crushes his skull with his bare hands.
That one. That's scary. Oh, you're dead. Anyhow, that was the guy. You're dead. I'm running away.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you deal with that. I'm gonna go hide somewhere else.
Thanks for distracting him. Bye. All right, so
I'll be in therapy for the rest of my life.
Yeah, she probably would be.
Yeah,
that'd be fair. All right, so we've done it. Jason lived.
We've lived as Jason. No, hang on a minute. Let's not do that.
No, that's just you. But we've done it. Part 6 is done. I fucking love this movie, and I'm really glad that I still love this as I'm rewatching these again. My opinion's shifting a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. I like 2 a hell of a lot more than I used to.
Me too. Even with the stupid sackhead.
The Sackhead's even grown on me. 2 has just grown on me a lot.
This movie 6 has grown on me quite a bit more and more as I watch it.
Initially, I did not like 6. The campiness bumped me, and that has really grown on me the more I've rewatched it. And now it's way higher in my list than it used to be. It used to be just up there because it's the only movie with an open camp. I'm like, all right, I guess that's what you get. But now I'm like, oh no, this movie is actually pretty decent. Let's do some plugs real quick. This show, every other show, HHPod.com. I did mine. Joel.
Afterthoughts Podcast is a book club podcast with Kelly. Super GG Radio is a video game podcast about old games as well as new coming up stuff. Do not play Thirsty Suitors. It not great.
No problem. Ryan, what about you?
Sounds like a Friday the 13th film. Thirsty Shooters.
It's about as horny. Yeah.
You can catch me on the Front Row Network where I talk about movies and things, but I also have my channel on there called Front Row Flashbacks where we talk about movies from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. It being November, we are going to dive in and talk about subliminal messaging in terms of Black Friday, and we are going to talk They Live.
Ooh.
I knew you were going to say that. I like as soon as you said subliminal message, I fucking saw in my mind's eye the obey things.
Yep.
And the consume ones. I fucking love They Live. It's such a good film.
I need to watch that again. It's been a long time. That is a good movie.
Yep.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of
bubblegum.
So that's where Duke Nukem got it.
Matt, anything to plug?
Well, so me and Charlotte are in. We're not doing science nonfiction really because apparently actual scientists are busy. So that's who knew. But we're talking about doing something where we're planning on doing something. Might be like a binge buddy style thing with a little bit of science dropped in. And we're looking at doing the first, the original Star Trek films to start off just to see if it works or not. And then possibly moving on to The Expanse.
Very, very fun.
But that won't be till next year.
Right.
Too busy moving at the moment. There's a lot going on.
Get that. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. See you next week with what is still currently my favorite movie of this franchise.
As it should.
It's so fucking good.
Bye.
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 Oh, shit. I jumped the gun, didn't I?
Yeah, you're a little bit early this time.
I'll try again.